really was getting to see how much you could get bang for your buck in the Richmond, Virginia area. That you can easily find an amazing home for under $1 million. Hey guys, this is Erin. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, hit that like button, click subscribe, and click that little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. Hey, I'm Erin Melton. Welcome to Living in Richmond, Virginia. Here I'm going to be talking about the cost of living for 2026 in the Richmond area. Is it a good fit for you? So overall cost of living for the Richmond, Virginia area is 5% lower than the U.S. average. Good, important to know. Our housing, even in quite a high-priced housing environment for 2026 for the U.S. as a whole, we are actually at about 15% below the national average. Our utility costs, our grocery costs are about 4% less than the national average. And overall, our healthcare is slightly below, about 1% lower than the average cost for healthcare in the U.S. So averages for an apartment, I want to give you this information and add a little asterisk to it there that we are taking into account every section of the Richmond area. So average cost for apartment rent is about $1,465 a month. That's average. Ranges for about $1,200 to $1,800 for about a one bedroom and up to $2,200 plus to be downtown. I can tell you that rent has continued to go up here. We have not seen anything step down, particularly in the very desirable areas. Be expected to pay a premium. Now, by comparison, our premium is quite a bit less than what it is in most, even mid-sized cities. A pretty comfortable rent, though, comparison to things around the U.S. Average incomes in the Richmond, Virginia area as a whole are about $68,000 a year. For utilities, I talked about that we have Dominion Energy, though we have a couple different other electric companies as well. As an average for utilities, it runs about $210 a month. Gas through the Richmond Gas Works. We also have other, Columbia Gas is a big one around here as well. And that really varies per usage. Usually $75 to $90 is going to be your typical range. Now, each county and area has their own provider for sewer and water. But on average, downtown Richmond runs about $45 to $65 a month. That includes your wastewater and your stormwater fees. I will put a caveat to that we have seen some higher water costs in the past few years. And I hope that is an account to them working on the infrastructure for some of the older systems in downtown Richmond for the wastewater and for stormwater. Nice thing about if you live in the city of Richmond, so it's different for each county, but in the city of Richmond, you do have trash and recycling services that are put through there. But on average, as a whole, for what to expect in the Richmond area for costs, for $25 to $35 a month. Lots of different options when it comes to high-speed internet and cable. Big thing for all of us that need that high-speed internet. But we have Xfinity here. We also have Verizon Fios, and you can kind of depend on, I'd say $40 to $50 a month as well. Those are around. So all pretty affordable. I'd say electric bills are where we have seen the biggest jump for things in the Richmond, Virginia area. Hands down, we have seen a big jump in that for sure. We're near national averages when it comes to groceries. Monthly spending for one person would be between about $450 to $800 a month. Transportation, goodness me, gas prices are higher than they usually are here. I feel like every time I drive by a gas station right now, I'm very glad that I have an electrical vehicle. We do have a lot of charging stations. If you've been thinking to switch EV, now might be the time. But I'd say on average what our gas is running right now is just shy of $4, between $4 and $4.30 is what you're seeing. If you see something for under $4 and you're driving a traditional car, you might want to snatch it up right away. Our public transit monthly pass, if somebody is using that, it is, I would say our public transit is not something that draws people to the Richmond, Virginia as a whole, but you have the GRTC. You do have that option if you need to. Personal property taxes are going to mostly be in the Richmond, Virginia area for your vehicles. If you live in the city of Richmond, it calculates to about $3.70 per every $100 assessed your value. So for instance, if you have a $20,000 car, that's a pretty affordable car nowadays, you're looking at maybe about $740 a year. By comparison, I've watched, to give you kind of an idea, if you have cars that are more typical range of what you're going to be carrying on things, and they have a higher value, whatever, I would anticipate that, and we pay our personal property taxes around here twice a year. Anticipate somewhere probably more around $1,000 per each part of the year. We do have exemptions here in the Virginia area. If you are active duty military, you have some exemptions for car tax, where a lot of people military that come to the area will keep their cars registered with other states. So, important to know if you're moving to Virginia that you are required to have a minimum coverage for insurance on your car, and usually it's going to run about $136 a month. Lots of different providers. That's a good thing about the Richmond, Virginia area. You're not going to be worrying about being in a spot of the country where major providers such as USA, Nationwide, State Farm, Geico, all those different things that you won't be able to get insurance because of threat of severe weather. We don't have that problem. Sure, we do have hurricanes that come through, but mostly it's rain. We're central, we're in from the coast. Lots of different healthcare providers that service here in the Richmond area. You're not going to have a problem with finding if you have Anthem, Health Keepers. Centera is one of the larger employers health-wise around here, so easy to get things there, of course. Blue Cross, all the different insurance. You're not going to have any problems finding your insurance or getting things covered here in the Richmond area. So Virginia state taxes, we have our income taxes, and that applies also to your federal income taxes. There are different brackets. Definitely speak with your accountant. Do not come to me for that advice. That is not my expertise. I'm here to help you get an idea of the cost of living and most importantly, the housing costs, if that works for what you're looking for. So bottom line, generally, the Richmond, Virginia area would be considered an affordable spot to be versus many major U.S. metros. Our biggest drivers for why it is affordable is, though our housing, though higher than it was years ago, is affordable in comparison to many places. Our car insurance is quite practical. Healthcare costs, personal property taxes definitely balance out with how things are for the entire state. And I would say that you definitely have great options here for a very nice single family home here that you could easily live. I'm going to tell you this, that I have many different people that have connected with me from YouTube from several different parts of the country. And what drove them here more than anything were all my amazing videos. I mean, of course, I'm so great on camera. Not. No, really was getting to see how much you could get bang for your buck in the Richmond, Virginia area. That you can easily find an amazing home for under $1 million and have a wonderful way of living. So there you have it, the cost of living. Does Richmond, Virginia sound like a great one for you? If you want to know more, get a better idea of what kind of housing you're looking for and if it truly is going to be as affordable as everyone talks about, and if this area is really as great as everyone talks about in the videos, please jump on my calendar. Let's set up some time to talk. Thanks so much for tuning in, and remember, leave everything better. Once again, if this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, tap that like button, hit subscribe, and click that little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and always remember, leave everything better.